Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Begin with a heart. Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Begin with a heart.
Welcome and good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Fellowship of Nanaimo. Our mission is to create spiritual connection, bring compassion, discovery, and social justice to life. My name is Larry Bolt, and I have the privilege and honor to be your service leader this morning. My pronouns are he, him, and his. Please take a moment to turn off your cell phones or silence them. As you know, I'm the guy that usually goes off in the middle of it, and I'm that guy, so I want you to turn around and look at the frog on the wall and say hello to everybody that's attending on Zoom. You give them a wave, and you can turn around here. You'll see we're in gallery mode, and they will be waving back at you. Whatever your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, whatever your race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identity, whatever makes you who you are warmly welcomed here. In keeping with our Unitarian Universalist aspiration of radical inclusion, we invite you to share your pronouns as well as your name when introducing yourself, if you are comfortable doing so. We are grateful for a diversity of voices on Sunday mornings, and our services vary from week to week. Our service can be between 60 and 75 minutes long. If this is your first time with us, a very special welcome to you. If you're joining us online, please consider sharing your contact information with us. You can share it with the host by going to the chat icon at the bottom of your screen. We'd love to welcome you to our community. We have a website, ufon.ca, spelled UFON.ca, and invite you to check it out for more detailed information about who we are, the services we offer, and how you can connect with us. We acknowledge today that we meet on the traditional territory of the Nanaimo First Nation. As Unitarians, we are committed to the work of reconciliation required to address the harm done to all Indigenous peoples and their cultures by non-Indigenous peoples. We have much to learn from the Indigenous perspective, including that the earth is the source of all life and that our responsibility is to honor and care for it. We have a few announcements, and I'd like to begin by letting everyone know our wonderful music director, Leah Hokinson, is taking a couple of well-deserved months off to visit Southern California, and today we are grateful to have with us, just back from his own world tour, our own Tony Turner. We're so blessed to have so much musical talent here. The new FUFON members and friends directory is now ready. And for those who don't know, FUFON is First Unitarian Fellowship of Nanaimo. However, because of security concerns, it will not be automatically emailed out to everyone. Instead, printed copies will be made available for pickup at the Sunday services. And that can be right back at the back here. You can't miss Brenda with her bright yellow shirt on today. If you prefer to have it emailed to you, please let Brenda Pilon in the office, a different Brenda, know, and she will send it to you. And she's going to be taking some time off for medical procedures, starting those procedures on the 15th of January, so probably the day or two before she'll be off. And this week is your chance to vote on the 3 charities we're going to support this year through half our service offerings. As you know, half the money in the plate goes to a charity. Thanks to everyone who made suggestions for the long list, the board has already selected the Community Circles Restorative Justice Society as the 4th recipient. The short list of 7 charities is mounted on the whiteboard around the corner through that door that says exit on the right-hand side. If you haven't already received your 3 ballot dots, Brenda's holding them up over here with the yellow shirt on. You can get them from the welcome table where she is and apply them to whichever 3 charities on the list get your vote. Thank you for participating in this. To find out about all special events, groups, and meetings taking place in the hall, you can either go to our website, or the calendar on our website, pardon me, read the weekly email sent out on Fridays, or check the large white boards, which is where the vote will be happening, in the hall by the washrooms. Today we have our own Reverend Ashley Burczak as our speaker. Reverend Ashley joined us last month after serving the Unitarian Universalist congregation, I'm really fumbling over my words today, of Sterling, Virginia for the past 3 years. We're so grateful that she, her husband, Reverend Derek of Hope Lutheran Church, and their children, Dog and Parakeet, decided to move to join us in Canada.
Yes. Can assure you.
Welcome. I'm Reverend Ashley, and I'm so happy to be with you. As we enter into this time of sacred awareness, I invite you to rest. Rest in the present moment with an open heart. Simply let this moment be as it is. We welcome you here. Our new members will be lighting a chalice of their own later in the service. So I wanted to talk for a moment about what a chalice means, what the chalice means. So the ritual of lighting a chalice, it grows out of a very long history. You'll see in it the influence of the Christian tradition. Both Unitarian and Universalism grew out of that Christian tradition. And the chalice if you go to a Christian Catholic church, the light, the candles symbolize God's covenant with humanity. And the light represents the light of God's presence. The chalice that they drink the communion wine from also symbolizes the covenant. Right? So you see, in our tradition, we shift away from that more Catholic view, and as our faith developed, those Christian concepts, they broadened. So for those Unitarian Universalists who are Christian, the chalice may still hold those meanings, but as the faith expanded to include those with many belief systems, including humanist and those who are also believers from other faith traditions, our concept of covenant expanded and shifted in focus from something that happens just between humanity and God to something that happens between us humans as an expression of transcendent wonder and mystery, however we might conceive of that. And covenant became the center of this faith that has no interest in demanding particular beliefs, but a deep sense of responsibility to reflect the inherent worth and dignity of every person in our actions. In our chalice, you also see the echoes of history, the history of our resistance to fascism. The flaming chalice that became part of our worship was originally the symbol of the Unitarian Service Committee, which rescued many Jewish refugees at great risk to themselves during World War II. The symbol was created by the artist Hans Deutsch, and we can't ask exactly where he got it, but it is at the very least a great coincidence that a flaming chalice was the symbol of Jan Hus, the Czech reformer who insisted that lay people should be allowed to drink communion wine. And that position led to him being burned at the stake. So for the Czech church, the flaming chalice was the representation of Jan Hus, the flame for the flames of his being burned, the chalice for his offer of communion for all. He represented resistance to unjust authoritarian power. And his unorthodox commitment to that expansive welcome resonates with our universalist sensibilities. I have wondered if maybe there could have been a larger resistance that identified with that symbol of the flaming chalice, one that extended across different denominations and groups. The flaming chalice remains that symbol you will see in Czech churches, and it was also the logo of an underground magazine for gay men at the time. And I often think about how many people were quietly part of the resistance, and how many of their stories are lost because even after the war, they weren't the types to brag, and many kept their secrets just in case the codes and the networks of the resistance ever needed to be used again. So though there is history that we can never know, we know deeply that our Unitarian forebears who first used that symbol of the flaming chalice were living out our deep commitment to humanity that our faith calls us to. And that deep commitment that as Unitarian Universalists we covenant to. Today, as I light our chalice, I'd like to share with you some words by the poet Fred Lamott. When times are dark, the way becomes clear. Trust in your breath. Rest in your heart. Bow to the stranger. This is the gospel of astonishment. If we are completely lost, we come home to each other.
Please join me in singing our first song today. It's Lean on Me, which everyone should know from our hymnal, and it was chosen by Bob and Debbie Goodman. And that will become clear later. Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if you have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you don't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. So just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. So just call on me, sister, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. We all need somebody to lean on.
All those who are young of body or spirit, or who are accompanying them, are invited to come to the front of the sanctuary for the time for all ages. Okay. I'll read a story for those who are young of spirit. So, this book is called Be a Good Ancestor by Leona Prince and Gabrielle Prince. Be a good ancestor with water. Raindrops become puddles. Puddles become streams. Streams become rivers. And rivers become life. Be a good ancestor with the land. Seeds become seedlings. Seedlings become trees. Trees become forests. Forests become oxygen. Be a good ancestor with living things that fly. Eggs become hatchlings. Hatchlings become fledglings. Fledglings become eagles. Eagles become iconic. Be a good ancestor with living things that swim. Eggs become alevins. Alevins become fry. Fry become sockeyes. Sockeyes become nourishment. Be a good ancestor with living things that walk. Newborns become cubs. Cubs become young bears. Young bears become grizzlies. Grizzlies become balance. Be a good ancestor with your neighbors. Neighbors become friends. Friends become communities. Communities become nations. Nations become allies. Be a good ancestor with your thoughts. Thoughts become ideas. Ideas become actions. Actions become movements. Movements become change. Be a good ancestor with your words. Words become expressions. Expressions become stories. Stories become narratives. Narratives become truth. Be a good ancestor with your feelings. Feelings become compassion. Compassion becomes understanding. Understanding becomes beliefs. Beliefs become values. Be a good ancestor with yourself. Children become adults. Adults become leaders. Leaders become elders. And elders become ancestors. I invite you to join in a moment of silence for prayer or meditation as you are called.
We share in love, we listen in love, we hold one another in love. Each joy and concern we witness and learn and grow together in love, and grow together in love.
One of the highlights in the life of a fellowship is the celebration of new members. In our free religious tradition, membership is especially important. When we recognize membership, we honor the individual's right to determine their own conscience and their ability and responsibility to act on what they believe to be true and good. When we recognize membership, we also honor the bonds of association and community. We remind ourselves that our ability to form close connections and share our lives with others is at the very core of who we are as human beings. There's no test of membership in our Unitarian congregations. Instead, visitors decide for themselves whether they belong. As a fellowship, we agree to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, and respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. We recognize freedom of conscience, the use of reason, and the guidance of science in religious life. As a self-governing fellowship, we turn to our elected and volunteer leaders to conduct these ceremonies. It is my honor and privilege to welcome up to the front Brenda Stewart, Board Chair of the congregation. And it is with great joy that I invite Linda Stedfield, Kristen Koda, and Gyanama to come forward and stand over here to my right, between the podium and the piano.
A covenant is a promise which we enter into together as a community. As we welcome our new members, we all have an opportunity to renew our commitment and remember what it was that brought us here. I think the words are going to be on the screen. I'll begin, and then the new members will read together and the congregation will respond.
Do you want one now? The congregational words, yeah.
So am I say this first or after?
That's right.
Say that, okay. The First Unitarian Fellowship of Nanaimo welcomes you this joyful morning. We are a community of friendship and purpose. Your decision to join us is an act of moving into covenantal relationship with our religious community and finding agreement with the Unitarian Universalist statement of principles and sources. We celebrate that decision and invite you to covenant with us.
I will work alongside others in this fellowship to further its mission, to create spiritual connection and bring compassion, discovery, and social justice to life. I will try to live these values in my daily life. I will be present to walk with you in the search for truth and understanding as part of my own lifelong growth and learning. I will share the work of this fellowship by giving as such time and talents as I can, and I will support the mutual effort of our stewardship with an identified financial contribution. To the best of my ability, I will be a model for our children, a mentor for our youth, and a friend to those in need.
Now
Together.
your part.
Seeing you with open hands and hearts as you join us.
Let's once again renew our commitment.
We are proud to have you among us. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, so the signing of the membership book is the official act of becoming a member. So new members, you are each invited to sign the membership book, and then as Tony plays for us, you are invited to light a special chalice to celebrate your entry into covenant with us.
As they go through this, please join me on the chorus of this song, which you may know, but it's very meaningful. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail with you, world, to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we're called to help all our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3. I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, 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 yeah, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget about how much you mean to me, every day I will remind you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, 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 yeah. You'll always have my always have my shoulder to cry. I'll never let you go, never say goodbye. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Oh, you can count on me, 'cause I can count on you.
So, and I believe you've already gotten your name tags. As a token of our appreciation for your joining, you've received one of our name tags. I hope you will wear it with joy, and we are so happy to have you as part of this fellowship. Our fellowship is now your fellowship. Welcome. Okay. And as we recognize our new members, we also recognize members who have made great contributions to this fellowship. The board voted in 2021 and 2022 to dedicate 2 of our fellowship spaces to members who have played an important part in the life of the community. The pandemic prevented us from formally recognizing those resolutions, but today we honor them. The first is our library. The library space was expanded and developed as just one of the many tremendous contributions of Sharon Reeves, our beloved member and Tony's wife, who passed away in 2022. And to recognize her contributions, we present this plaque. So this reads, "In recognition of Sharon's leadership to revitalize, diversify, and display our fellowship's library collection." And there's a little quote there. "I have always imagined that paradise will be a kind of library." And the second is our boardroom, which we dedicate to recognize the generosity of Bob and Debbie Goodman in all of their many volunteer contributions and in making this building our home and improving it in so many ways. We will hang a plaque there that reads, "In recognition of Bob and Debbie's service, leadership, and extraordinary contributions to this fellowship." And the quote reads, "The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit." Thank you for all you have contributed and continue to contribute to the fellowship. And please join Tony in singing "Circle of Song" by Joni Mitchell. It was a song that Sharon loved.
Actually, it's Circle Game.
Circle Game.
We'll get the Circle of Song.
Oh.
Circle Game is a song. Circle Game is a song
Lots
written
of
by
circles.
Joni Mitchell, and Sharon was a fan of Joni Mitchell, great Canadian singer-songwriter, and so I chose this song to recognize her and her contribution. And earlier we sang "Lean on Me," which was chosen by Bob and Debbie Goodman, is one of their favorites amongst our hymns. She got the chorus up. Yesterday a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams, Words like when you're older must appease him, and promises of someday make his dream. Here we go. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town. And they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet to slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. So the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Through his dreams are lost some grandeur coming true. There'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams aplenty, before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
Reverend Ashley just recently, as you saw, presented the plaques, and as a recognition, some plants. You know how everyone loves their gardens here. Today's reading comes from Reverend Lisa Ward. A covenant is not a definition of a relationship. It is the framework of our relating. A covenant leaves room for chance and change. It is humble toward evolution. It claims, I will abide with you in this common endeavor. Be present as best I can in our becoming. This calls for a level of trust, courage, and sacrifice that needs to be nurtured, renewed, and affirmed on a regular basis. A creed creates a static truth, something that does not incorporate new insights and realities. A covenant is a dance of co-creation, keeping in step with one another in the flow of our lives. A creed seeks uniformity and a unison voice. A covenant seeks harmony and a shared voice. Sometimes we may arrive at a unison, but it is not required. A creed gives authority to the statement. A covenant gives authority to the shared intention. A creed gives an us and them. A covenant invites relationship. A creed is a prescription that must be relied on. A covenant relies on the treasure of shared truth. The courage within this covenant is in the acceptance and celebration of life, with all of its challenges, pain, ironies, and joys. And sacrifice within the covenant is in the letting go of dogma, of assumptions, of control, and giving over to a greater wisdom which comes to us in bits and pieces. The task of this covenant is to take responsibility for the freedom we espouse. We know that we are interconnected and that what we do creates ripples of joy or despair, of affirmations or negation. What we do with and for one another is powerful and beyond our imagining.
So we talked a lot today about covenant, about being in covenant with each other. And those who are newly choosing to join in covenant, and those who have honored covenant with rich and deep contributions to this community over time. I think covenant can be why Unitarian Universalism can be a little bit hard to explain to people. Because when people ask about your faith, they tend to ask, what do you believe? They ask what you believe. They don't ask, what do you do? And we don't have just one thing that we believe. Unlike some other traditions, we don't have a hierarchy telling us what makes you a true member of our faith. There's no pope, unless you count Mary Oliver. There's no creed that we all accept. But we are held together somehow. We're held together not by hierarchy, not by doctrine, but by covenant. Unitarian Universalism is a very unique faith. It's one of the only faiths that allows us to search for truth rather than insisting we have found it. It even allows its members to embrace other faiths without getting kicked out as heretics. All the mystics in every tradition always get along. But if you look at the faith claims of different religions outside of the context of the mystical truths, they're often mutually exclusive. Jesus was God, or he was not. Muhammad was the final prophet, or he wasn't. Enlightenment is possible, or there is no such state. And Unitarian Universalism doesn't make claims about those questions that can only be answered by a personal experience of knowing. They're fundamentally unknowable in the conventional sense. You can argue that the Bible or the Quran say one thing or another thing, but there isn't any evidence that we should believe the Bible or the Quran. You can argue that time is beginningless and endless, as Buddhism claims, but you'll find no science that will tell you how many Big Bangs there have been. So Unitarian Universalism trusts these questions to you. What feels most true? What does your experience tell you? Where does the evidence or lack of evidence lead you? Unitarian Universalism doesn't make claims about how the world was created or what happens when you die. We make a single core faith claim: that we should live with love at the center of our lives. There isn't a reason to believe that. It's a faith claim. It's something our personal experience tells us, not something we can defend with evidence. We believe it is important to work for happiness and against suffering because we have faith that it matters. As a faith, if not as individuals, we are agnostic about how that knowing is justified. But we know very firmly that it does matter. We're not nihilists. We believe, with no particular justification other than faith, that kindness is worthwhile. And that's why we're a faith, and not a social club, or a business, or a political party. That covenant that we have chosen, it is both the simplest thing and the hardest and most complex. Live with love at the center of our relationship to ourselves, our community, and the wider world. May we continue to live into this simple, complex, hard, joyful promise. Amen.
We'll now have our offering. Sharon and Charla will now pass the baskets for the offering for those here with us. And for those here with us for the first time, your presence is your contribution. Those online can go to our website and click the big blue donate button on the homepage to donate. To help the wider community, half of all cash donations will be given to our charity of the month. This month's charity is the Loaves and Fishes Community Food Bank. Currently, more than 15,000 people in 40 communities across Vancouver Island, including 15 Indigenous communities, receive food from Loaves and Fishes. If you want your donation to go to the charity of the month, you will need to make a note of that in your e-transfer or check. And for those of you that don't carry cash, we now accept your donations via debit or credit cards. This can be done at our welcoming table near the entry doors after the service. And remember, 50% goes to charity. Don't forget to vote on the upcoming charities.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. And now we'll sing Circle of Song, which was also a favorite of Sharon's. So starts with the chorus, so you can just jump right in. Come join with me in the circle of song, the young and the old, the weak and the strong, singing with one voice, though we may speak different tongues. In the circle of song, we are one. Some sing of the past, of battles lost and won. Some sing of their dreams and a new day in the sun. Some sing out for love, and some sing just for fun. In the circle of song, we are one. Come join with me in the circle of song, the young and the old, the weak and the strong, singing with one voice, though we may speak different tongues. In the circle of song, we are one. Some sing of this land or the country of their birth. Some sing of this land and the beauty of the earth. Some sing of this land for all that it is worth. In the circle of song we are one. Come join with me in the circle of song, the young and the old, the weak and the strong, singing with one voice, though we may speak different tongues. In the circle of song we are one. Each of us must leave this place and go back to our home. Each of us must walk a path that must be walked alone. And each of us will bear the fruit of the seeds that we have sown. In the circle of song we are one. Come join with me in the circle of song, the young and the old, the weak and the strong, singing with one voice, though we may speak different tongues. In the circle of song we are one. In the circle of song we are one. In the circle of song we are one.
Our benediction today comes to us from the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker. Let us covenant with one another to keep faith with the source of life, knowing that we are not our own, earth made us. Let us covenant with one another to keep faith with the community of resistance, never to forget that life can be saved from that which threatens it by even small bands of people choosing to put into practice an alternative way of life. And let us covenant with one another to seek for an ever deeper awareness of that which springs up inwardly in us. Even when our hearts are broken by our own failure or the failure of others cutting into our lives, even when we have done all we can and life is still broken, there is universal love that has never broken faith and never will. This is the ground of our hope and the reason we can be bold in seeking to fulfill the promise. Go forth and be a blessing.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. We carry in our hearts until we are together again. We're nearing the end of our service. After we sing Carry the Flame, you have the opportunity to join a social group. There are breakout rooms available online for the next 30 minutes. If you want to join an online breakout room, stay online and the host will put you in there. We'll have refreshments and conversation here in the hall. I want to thank the many people who have given their time and energy to make today's service so wonderful. The Sunday Services Committee, the audiovisual team, excuse me, the greeters and offering collectors, those at the welcoming table, the kitchen volunteers who come early and stay late for cleanup, those who brought food and flowers, and last but not least, our guest musician today, our own Tony Turner, our heartfelt gratitude to everyone. And of course, gratitude for Reverend Ashley being here. Tremendous today. We'll now sing our final song, Carry the Flame. The words are on the wall in the hall over here in the corner and on the back wall here. Our custom is to stand and hold hands or touch elbows as you are comfortable.